A high-stakes peace plan is taking shape, one that could, of course, see Russia and Ukraine swap territories to end the war. Now, Donald Trump is pushing the idea ahead of a summit with Vladimir Putin, but it's already facing some fierce resistance from Kiev. Speaking at the White House, Trump said that the agreement could be signed soon, a deal that would involve exchange of land between the two nations. He claims that it would benefit both sides. And the president has said that this is not just about peace in Ukraine, but about stopping a wider global escalation. He's warning that without a deal, the world risks drifting closer to a major war.
There'll be some swapping of territories to the betterment of both, but we'll be talking about that either later or tomorrow or whatever. That could have been a world war. I think if we didn't come, Ukraine-Russia would have ended up being a world war. And I stopped that. I want to save a lot of lives. I love saving lives. That's what it's about. And, you know, when you save lives, you really end up having a peaceful world.
Now, Russia, meanwhile, is already laying out its demands. The Kremlin claims that 4 regions, Luhansk, Donetsk, Zaporizhia and Kherson, as well as Crimea, that was annexed back in 2014. The officials in Moscow say that Putin will discuss these claims with Trump in Alaska, calling the talks a challenging but necessary step towards a resolution. But in Kiev, the message is pretty clear. No Ukrainian land will be handed over to the occupier. President Volodymyr Zelensky said that his country's constitution prohibits such a move, and that any deal that is made without Ukraine will not bring real peace.
Ukrainians will not give their land to the occupier. Ukraine is ready for real decisions that can bring peace. Any decisions that are against us, any decisions that are without Ukraine, are at the same time decisions against peace. They will not achieve anything. These are stillborn decisions. They are unworkable decisions.
Now, Zelensky has also been speaking with European leaders, including Francis Macron, and leaders from the United Kingdom, Estonia and Denmark, to ensure that if a ceasefire or peace framework were to emerge, that Ukraine's allies will have a seat at the table. From Washington to Moscow to Kiev, the stakes could not be higher, and the next move will play out under the glare of the world in Alaska. So this, of course, remember, is a very crucial moment in the Ukraine war. The two leaders that you're seeing on your screens, Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump, will be taking part in a summit meeting in Alaska. But the third leader on your screen, Volodymyr Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, where the war is happening, is not going to be there. So it now remains to be seen as to what sort of a deal could be struck between the American president and the Russian president. And the question is also obviously this: if the deal is not acceptable to the Ukrainians, can there be peace? So these are some very crucial moments, and it needs to be seen as to what the American offer is. And also, will Russia climb down from its stated position where it has said that it wants to take over and annex the territories that it has captured? Will Ukraine agree to cede that, or is there going to be a plan to exchange some territories? It is still not clear. But Ukraine, being a part of the NATO military alliance, is something that has been completely ruled out by Russia. And there are a number of other issues that will also come up for discussion. It now remains to be seen whether Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin can actually strike a deal, because the two of them have had 6 phone calls before. Donald Trump, during his campaigning days, had said that if he were to become, when he would become the president of the United States of America, it would take him less than 24 hours to bring about peace. And it's 6 months, it's in fact 8 months that he's been the president, and this is going to be the big opportunity. He's going to be sitting with Vladimir Putin in the same room. It'll be very interesting to see as to what the two sides bring to the table. Will they climb down from their stated positions? Can they meet each other midway? These are all questions that hang in the air. And earlier I had spoken with Mr. Mikael Walterson. He's a military and a political analyst and a former officer of the Swedish Army. Listen to what he had to say.
The entire war goal of Ukraine is to keep all the territory. And he's claiming that the constitution prohibits Ukraine to leave any territory, but the constitution said that Ukraine would be neutral, and then they changed the constitution. So they can always change the constitution, but it's an attempt to derail an agreement.
For all the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.